Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Serrano. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Moto G Pure. We're going to be talking about 10 reasons to consider the Moto G Pure in 2022. Now, if you're brand new to the channel, I truly appreciate you for coming through and kicking it with me. But today, let's just talk about the top 10 reasons to consider the Moto G Pure. But if it's your very first time to the channel, I encourage you to subscribe and get notified. But if you're already a part of the crew, salute. Alright, so this is the Moto G Pure, and I have the Spigen case on here. I will take it off in just a second, but this is a really nice device. And the first thing I want to talk about is the price. Now, I paid about a little bit under $140 for this guy, but obviously you can get it other places, but I'm just going to be talking about the unlocked model. But obviously you can get this device for free depending on what carrier or deal you pick, right? Or you could even get it for like under that amount that I paid. But I will leave the cheapest link down below so you can check that out as well if you're interested in picking up the unlocked model, so you could rock it on any carrier of your choice. But I'm just going to talk about the first reason, and that's the price, because it's pretty much $140 depending on where you pick it up, maybe less, right, depending on where you buy it. But I'm going to leave the cheapest link where you can get this guy, and it's a really solid device, has a lot of cool features that I want to get into. But the first reason is the price, because it's really affordable. It's a budget, entry-level budget price point, has a really nice design, has everything that you need with the headphone jack and stuff like that. But let's just jump into the second reason. Now, the second reason is the battery, and Motorola promises that you will get 2 days of battery life with this phone, and I have been actually able to get that amount of battery life with this phone. So I was pretty pleased when it comes to the overall battery life of this device, because it will last you over 48 hours if you're the type of person who needs a phone that will last you more than 24 hours in a day. So I definitely think this is a pretty cool device, because it has a really large 4000 milliamp hour battery, which is going to give you at least 1 day of use if you're the type of person who likes that type of deal and you want to actually choose a device in the budget price point that will give you really good battery life. Now, the third thing I like about this device is the display. It has a really large 6.5 LCD IPS display, which is really big. It does have a chin, which if you're the type of person who's extremely picky when it comes to that, you will notice it. But if you're the type of person who just enjoys tech like me, then that shouldn't have any issue or impact with your overall usage. But it's got a really beautiful display to look at as well. It's a 720 display, so just want to throw it out there. It's not the best panel that I've ever laid eyes on in the entire world, but this is a really solid display for the price, and it looks really good for the amount of money that you're spending. 270 for the PPI medium density display, so it will look really good when you're just looking at social media and browsing the web and checking out videos and content on here. So I definitely like this device for the display. It looks really good. It has a water drop notch, scratch resistant glass, and it has that multi-touch capacity, so you can game on here as well, which we'll get into in a little bit more detail, right? But this does have a really nice display to look at when you're just browsing through social media, watching videos, or anything of that nature. Now, the fourth thing I like about this device is going to be the fact that it does have SD support and a headphone jack at the bottom, at the top, at the top, with 2 microphones, one at the top, one at the bottom. So you're going to get really good microphone sound quality from this guy. Mono speakers, so it's not going to be dual speakers, but they will sound pretty decent when you're listening to music. And if you have headphones, or if you just decide to plug in a headphone jack, it will be pretty cool, because you will notice you will get some pretty decent sound quality from those guys. But the headphone jack is really clutch, as well as the SD card support. And I did get a comment. Someone had told me that if you get an SD card that says it's a N1 supported SD card slot, or A1 supported SD card slot, that you will be able to move not only the files, but also all of the apps on there as well. Now, the fifth reason is that this device does support water-repellent protection, so you can, it's IP52 for dust and water, so you can splash it with water and it wouldn't harm the device. So I think that's pretty cool, because it's a really budget device that they did include that splash resistancy with this guy, because if you're the type of person who is going to be drinking a cup of coffee and you accidentally splash it with the cup of coffee, then you won't have to worry about that, because this guy is IP52 certified, so you won't have to worry about any splash or water hitting this device. Now, the sixth reason to consider the Moto G Pure is basically going to be the cameras. These are pretty decent cameras at a budget price point. They're not going to make you win any awards for the photos or anything. It's not going to be like knocking your socks off or blowing your mind away, but the cameras on here are actually pretty decent. With this guy, we get a 5 megapixel selfie camera on the front. We also get a 13 megapixel on the rear and a 2 megapixel for the depth camera. So I will leave some camera samples up on the screen so you can see those camera samples of this phone, so you can check them out. But let's just take a look at those in just a second, some video, as well as some of the pictures that I'm just going to leave up on the screen right now, so you could kind of see those and give me your opinion with this thing. So yeah, there's definitely going to be some pretty decent camera quality with this guy. It's going to have some decent images. Not the best lighting in the entire world or anything of that sort, but when it comes to the cameras, they're going to be pretty decent. You're going to be able to, capture some pretty decent shots with this thing. So I just want to mention that the cameras will be pretty decent when it comes to capturing colors and dynamic range. We'll have some decent. You also have a option right here where it does capture like moving photos, which is pretty cool. So you can see that it does occur when it does want to. It will do that, so it's pretty cool. If you're looking at the sun and it's behind you, and if the sun is behind you and you're trying to take a selfie with the sun behind you, it won't be the best for that, but it will be pretty decent with the rear camera in those type of situations. Like I said before, you're gonna get a really decent colors on here, so you can see the reds and greens look really good on this guy, and so does the sunsets. They look really good. When you're walking with this thing, you will notice some pretty decent it's not going to have stabilization, like image stabilization or anything like that when it comes to these cameras, because when you're walking it will sort of shake, but you will see that it will have some pretty decent image quality. Not the sharpest in the entire world, but when you're using it during daytime, it will capture some pretty decent daytime footage for you, so you could use it for that. But just keep in mind, you will need an SD card to move all of your images and photos to it, so you can save space. Portraits actually come out really good on this thing, really sharp. The edges are always very good, and it has really good dynamic range, so it's able to take the foreground away from the background really well and blend it together pretty nicely. So I definitely like the part about the portraits is that they do take really good portraits with this as well. So you will notice that every time you're taking a portrait, it looks really good. Also, the front facing camera when it comes to video is pretty decent. Doesn't have the best detail in the entire world, but it will take some pretty decent shots. Like you see right there, the sun does block out your face if it's behind you, because the camera just can't zoom into both at the exact same time. But you will get some pretty decent images like this one right here, which is actually pretty decent. It's actually really good that you can see the details and the grains of sand right here, and just some really decent quality when it comes to the overall pictures on this thing. So I definitely think that the cameras are pretty decent for this price, and that's going to be the sixth reason to consider the Moto G Pure. But the seventh reason to consider the Moto G Pure is that it has a built-in EQ inside of it, which is called Moto Audio Sound Effects, and it will give you the ability to customize the sounds with the equalizer. You could do flat vocalizer, brilliant treble, balance, bass punch, and extreme. But there's no the only thing is that there's no custom one. So I just kind of want to throw that out there, that they don't give you the option to actually customize it to your own personal preference. You can click up here and go to reset, help, and show icon and app tray as well. So that's pretty cool that they do let you show that in the app tray. But Like I said before, when you have a Bluetooth device connected, AudioFlex will remember the last time the settings were used, and it will save that for you. So I definitely like that feature about this guy as well. So that's going to be the reason why, another reason why you should consider it. But the eighth reason is going to be the built-in gaming mode. And because this has a built-in gaming mode, you can block calls, notifications. You could put it on lock mode so it doesn't leave the screen that you're using, which is the game that you're playing. Screenshots, screen record, share, Twitch stream settings, and add an app, so you can actually do that for any app as well. So just a lot of variety of settings when it comes to this guy. Is actually extremely good for gaming and things of that nature because of those features. Now when it comes to gaming on here, it's gonna be not gonna be the best performer that you've ever experienced in the entire world, right? It's not gonna be like meant for gaming or anything of that nature. But you will be able to get kills on here if you are really, you know, if you do take your time.
Nice shot. Target down.
But definitely pretty decent when it comes to the gaming on here. Now the ninth reason to consider the Moto G Pure is that it has a stock Android feel to it. It's got all your Google apps on here, so you can, you know, you can get all of those on there, or you could probably uninstall them if you do so desire. You probably won't use the slides. Most people don't use the slides unless like you're at work or something. You know, sometimes it will have some headaches and hiccups. It's not going to be the fastest in the entire world. Sheets you can get rid of as well, so I probably would never use Sheets. So I'm probably just going to get rid of that. But one of the things is you do need a SD card slot, SIM card that says A1, so you can move the apps over to it. But I would keep the docks. I probably never would use the Fit app on here because I just never used the Google Fit app in my entire life. But there's certain apps you can't get rid of on here. For instance, you can't get rid of like the Moto apps, which are pretty much going to be by default unable to uninstall. But anything that's Google related on the Android system, you can uninstall. And let's just check the security on here, because sometimes they do offer updates with this guy. Like right now I am getting, you know, a bug fix for this thing, and it says right here that we do have a bug fix. So it says you're almost there. It'll take 90 seconds to restart your device, and you will have a smart update features included with bug improvements and things of that sort as well. And this device does run on Android 11, so it's pretty new. It's not going to have Android 12 for another maybe later in the year, like another 3-4 months. It might get Android 12. Well, it will get Android 12, so I just want to mention that. But these are the top 10 reasons to consider the Moto G Pure in 2022. But let me know in the comment section what you think about the Moto G Pure. Let me know how long you've had it, and if you're looking forward to getting it, or if you're just simply checking out this video just to be curious and kind of check out devices and on the market, so you can kind of weigh your options out. But I definitely like the Moto G Pure. Definitely think it's still a really good budget device in this price. But let me know in the comment section what you think about the Moto G Pure. Would you pick one up, and would you consider buying, or would you consider using the Moto G Pure? But I'm going to get right back with you in the comment section. But make sure you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, depending where you are. Have a great night. Later, crew. Peace.